Thank you very much. I'm sorry I have a light voice. Also, I'm a professor by profession. That means I only have 50-minute thoughts. So I decided it would be better if I don't just speak, but write down my remarks. And I hope that will work. Your Eminences, Your Excellencies, distinguished visitors, and above all the Swiss Guards of today, and all those who have served down so many epic years under John the 23rd and John Paul II, the Great Council of Vatican II, the crumbling of the Berlin Wall. At last I have a chance to thank you in person. I want to thank the Swiss Guards for the thousands of kindnesses received at your hands since I first arrived in Rome for autumn classes in 1956. I don't know how many hundreds of times you have been of help to me and to millions of visitors from around the world. Some of you have taken part in one or more of the greatest gatherings of human beings in all of human history. The Requiem Mass, John the 23rd. World Youth Day in Rome, 1984 and 85 and 2000. The Requiem of Pope John Paul II, when the thick gray clouds parted and a ray of sunlight fell directly on the blonde wood casket, just as it was lifted up to be carried into St. Peter's for entombment. I know that some of you, especially my dear friend George, don't believe this happened. But the photos exist to prove it in the Conservatory Romano. It was a gray, dull day, if you remember. And then just as they lifted the casket up, a sun fell on it. And you can tell in the photographs, because it's dark and gray, there are no shadows. And suddenly shadows leap out from under the casket, feet of the pallbearers, then from the whole casket. So anyway, that was for the historians. Some of your members with signal honors served Pope John the 23rd, 1958 to 63. We have lived through now with these two popes, an epic 47 years, from 1958 to 2005 with John Paul II. A series of the most epical years in papal history. And we were lucky to live through it and see it. And some of you lucky to share it here every day. Good Pope John, they called him. His impact, John the 23rd, so many of you are too young to remember, but his impact was very much like that of Pope Francis. I mean, immediately people loved him, welcomed his smile and his friendship and his humble ways. Good Pope John, everybody said. And I can't remember in my lifetime before that any pope had quite the power of personality, especially after the great saint himself, Pius XII, but very serious man, severe even. And John was just radiant. Very comforting to some of us, a little bit on the heavy side, not too ascetical in appearance. A word like that. Many more of you served Pope John Paul the Great, 1978 to 2005, a title bestowed on him by his own mourners in a kind of acclamation. Remember them, the millions here who packed the streets of Rome in 2005? The life and death of John Paul II affirmed the era that John the 23rd began, confirmed it really, brought it to worldwide roundness. Without the one pope, the other would be incomplete. If there had been no John the 23rd, there would have been no council and no John Paul II. It just couldn't have happened. Without John Paul II, that division across Europe would still be with us.